Of course, you've heard horror stories or maybe experienced a horror story around selecting a contractor or remodeler. Here's a few things that you need to look for before you start your next project. So first one has to do with all of the regulatory requirements that might be in place in your jurisdiction. If you're building in a county, in the city, here locally in Southwest Washington, there's a lot of regulation around what can get built where. You want somebody that's familiar with that and can walk you through that whole process without building something out of compliance, because that gets really expensive really quick. Another one that's super important, and increasingly so in the last couple of years, is a contractor that has a deep bench of suppliers and installers. This is super crucial in an environment now that there's products that aren't available and are always dropping off the shelves. You want someone that is going to pre-plan with products that we know will be available when we need them. So that's a lot of early ordering, getting out in front of these things well in advance so that you don't end up sitting on site with no progress happening as you're scrambling or waiting for late deliveries and that kind of thing. So another one, because a general contractor needs to be a really good communicator, it's easy to forget that they also need to be extremely competent in structural elements, building science, have a good understanding of how a building performs. If you don't have that, you don't have somebody all the way at the top as a general contractor that can facilitate all the conversations that need to be had with mechanical systems, structural systems, all that, you can end up with a building that's in conflict with itself and end up with some major issues in the structure down the road. So one more, that's a little more subjective, is you want a contractor that's a good communicator. So the subjective part of that is that communication is a two-way street, and you certainly want to have it to be just a good relationship match, a good communication style match. But the less subjective part of it is that the contractor is kind of the hub of info between clients, suppliers, installers, subcontractors. On some projects, there can be hundreds of different people to all have on the same page over the course of that project. That contractor has to do a good job of it if the project is going to go well. Another one, you want to avoid a contractor that is going to split when things go wrong or not be there to work through any issues that show up. You want a good person that's going to have your best interest in mind. It's going to follow through on getting things done on budget and on time. That's a tough one to figure out of the gate. Everybody's marketing looks great. Talk to past clients. That's going to be your best feel. Ask them if something went wrong on the project, even a minor thing, and how was it handled. Figure out if the contractor showed up and was there for the client when things went a little sideways. If you are looking for a design build firm in Southwest Washington, reach out. I'd love to have a quick phone conversation and see if we would be a good fit for your project.